Lenore. It's nice to meet you.
My name is Lenora. It's okay. People
I'm
do it
so
all the time.
sorry.
It's perfectly fine.
No,
And what was your name again? Was it Stasha?
my name's Stacia.
Stacia. Okay. Well, it took a lot for me to come in here, honestly. It feels like I'm admitting that I might have a bit of a problem. Um, there's been a lot going on recently. Uh, really struggling with financial burden right now. I just graduated with two master's degrees. Um, I
Congratulations.
have a I had a federal job, but I've moved to a contracting job because I asked my husband to get his military recruiting certification, so we had to move to North Carolina.
Okay.
I don't know, it's even though we're working on making more money, it feels like we still don't have enough, and as a result, like I had to leave my son in New York for a month because he's not old enough to join the school down here because of state law. So I just feel really alone right now.
I, yeah, that it sounds like you have a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your, let me just recap because, yep. And let's kind of make a plan as to where to go. So you've recently moved.
Mm-hmm.
You and your husband are down in North Carolina.
Yes.
You have switched your job.
Y- Kind of. I'm still in the same like career. I'm
Okay.
just not under the federal government anymore.
Okay.
I technically am as a civilian employee, but this time I'm as a contractor, so I'm not like full time throughout the year
Okay.
secure job. But I think there's a chance of renewing it in like 6 months, but
Okay.
I'm not really confident. I should have done more research.
So there's some stuff left up in the air with that.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband's in a new role,
Mm-hmm.
and now your son is up in New York
Yeah.
with grandparents.
He's with my mom and her fiance. He's basically like a dad to me. He's been part of my life for a very long time. They, my son Bruce, he calls him Grandpish because he's not his biological grandpa. So it's
Ish.
grandpa-ish. It's really cute. Um,
Tell me more about Bruce.
he's 6. He's such a sweet boy, very, very sweet. Everybody that is around him says he's just so perfect. He's a little angel. He loves sharing things. He loves everybody. Um, he's very well behaved. He never really acts out. He's just a little sensitive, but I feel like that's normal for his age.
Six, yeah.
Um, he's very smart. I love that boy so much. I don't think that I really knew what love was until I had him, honestly. Like he just makes my heart swell.
That's really good to hear. So you you sound really happy, and your face lights up when you talk about Bruce.
Absolutely. I love him.
So, but you also mentioned that you're not with him at this moment.
Yeah. And that's really been tearing me down, I think. That plus I just feel alone in the home a lot of the time. Like, I don't think my husband really understands why I couldn't just homeschool him because I have a work from home job right now. So I don't think he really understood the mismatch and like why I can't care for him and homeschool him while I'm working from home. He doesn't really, I don't think that he understands I have to actually be working when I'm working from home to keep my job. And that created a bit of strain too.
Okay, so it sounds like, yeah, maybe so there was an option of homeschooling and your husband thought maybe that would be a good idea and you knew that that wasn't going to be possible.
I don't think that it was ever really an option. I think just my husband interpreted it as one. Like I had never introduced the idea. I was talking about how stressed I was with having to keep him up in New York because we're not going to be able to bring him down here. And my husband just started getting really frustrated with me about not being able to homeschool him or just watch him when he gets home from school, because we're even talking about daycare for when he does come up here. And he doesn't understand why we have to spend all of that money when I work from home anyway. And what makes it extra hard is my mother, she also worked from home, but she would watch him while she was working from home. But she was in a different capacity, so I think it's created a bit of a double standard.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of parts, a lot of moving
Yeah.
parts too. And maybe some people in this scenario are thinking, well, if someone can do it, why can't you?
Yeah, I
And
do think that
then
that's it.
and how does that make you feel?
Honestly, frustrated that he doesn't really understand. But also like kind of upset with my mom. Like it wasn't her fault that she had set that standard and kind of set me up for failure in doing so, is what it feels like. But I also never dreamed that I would get a work from home job either. And I can't blame her for that, but it's hard not to just be. I don't really think I'm angry at her. I think I'm just angry at the situation.
You want everything to work out.
Yeah.
So the feeling of loneliness, I
Yeah.
understand that
Yeah.
because
Absolutely. Like
even though
even
you're
in the home, like my husband, he'll get home from work and all he wants to do, and this was even in New York, all he would do is play video games. And we even opened up our marriage because I kept telling him that if you don't give me the attention that I need, then I want to go find it somewhere else. And we had both agreed to it. But now I feel like he's giving other women the attention that he should be giving me that I was asking for in the first place. And when we're in New York and he's home with all of his friends, he goes to prioritize his friends over me. And I'll be in the bedroom upstairs, laying in bed crying while he's downstairs laughing it up with his friends. It's like he doesn't even care.
and have you spoken with him about this, about how since you've opened up the marriage, how it hasn't gotten better?
Multiple times. And every time he just gets angry and says, well, it's you that wanted to do this. But now you're upset that I'm exercising that power, I guess. Like, it it just feels like I can't win. Like I tried opening it up because he wouldn't give me more attention, and sometimes he does give like big spouts of it. But that's very once in a blue moon, and then it goes back to bare minimum effort.
So what are those ideal situation, right? Um, what would that look like? Perfect scenario.
Mm, I don't really know how to describe it because obviously ideal situation is just pure happiness and fun, right? But
Not
I haven't felt that
necessarily.
in so long, and I don't know. I want my son back with me, and I just want to feel loved again. And the only time that I really feel loved is when I'm with Bruce, my son. Um, but when I'm home alone with my husband, I just feel like we're roommates in the same room and we're just sharing a space.
It's interesting how you said, but I'm home alone with my husband.
I didn't realize I had said that.
But that says a lot.
Yeah, I could see how it definitely does.
So yeah, you are missing Bruce. What home alone with my husband. Did it always feel like that?
No, when we were in the beginning of our relationship, it was more, I think it's that phenomenon of the honeymoon stage or newlyweds, and then you're constantly doting on each other. You're going on dates all the time. You are getting kisses and hugs all the time. You're cuddling on the couch watching TV. And then it just gradually transitions to, metaphorically speaking, literally sitting on opposite ends of the couch rather than just being right next to each other and enjoying each other's presence. Like it just feels like that distance has gone from 1 inch to 5 inches to feet. Like it just feels like it's been continuing.
Was that happening before Bruce or since Bruce was born?
I think that it really started occurring probably 1 to 2 years into Bruce being born. Like maybe he was 2.5, 3 years old. And there wasn't really a trigger for it, honestly. It just felt like there was more lack of effort. But then again, I can also kind of justify it because he was being deployed at the time. He wasn't a military recruiter yet. So he was in Alaska and I was in New York, or
Okay.
he was in Dubai and I was in Alaska back when we lived in Alaska. Like,
So
I
there
don't think the
is
distance was conducive.
there was times where you were literally apart,
Yeah.
not feet, countries
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
And
For very extended periods of time too.
during those times, like was he still well, let me ask you this. Have you ever talked with your husband about what what you want from him? Like I want more kisses. I want more hugs.
All
Let's
the time.
let's
And
plan a date night.
whenever I do, it like he's better for maybe 2 or 3 days and then it's back to normal. And then because our marriage has opened up, he'll go give all of that attention that I've been asking for to somebody else. And then he gets upset when I get upset because, well, you opened up this marriage. But the point of opening it up was to get the attention that you weren't giving me. But then you give the exact attention that I was asking for to other people. Like if it was so easy for you to do, why not just do it to me?
That's a good question.
And I've asked him that before, and he doesn't really have a good answer.
He might not. He might not have a good answer. You're absolutely right. So when you seek attentions of others outside of your husband, how does that make you feel?
Appreciated, but there's still a void of a sort because I'm always wishing that I didn't have to resort to that in the first place. Um, when I do, it's I think it's really made known just how easy it is to do those things because a lot of the attention of others that people are giving me are the exact things that I ask my husband for. And if literally complete strangers or someone I've met with 2 or 3 times can do it, why can't you? And we've been together for so many years. And I've also asked him that. He still doesn't know.
Would just throwing this out there, might not be something we could do with me, but do you think your husband would be open to like a joint session?
I don't think that he acknowledges that there's a problem. I think, well, he acknowledges there's a problem, but I think that he firmly believes that I'm just an attention seeker and that there's no actual problem and I'm the one that's creating all of them. He doesn't, it sounds like to me that he doesn't want to take responsibility.
Do you feel like you're an attention seeker?
I don't think so, but it doesn't exactly help when all of his friends say that I'm doing it for attention too.
And you
Some of those being my childhood friends or people that are like family, like my mom's fiance's son, who literally says Lenore's so annoying, she's so dramatic all the time, and it's not very fun. I just don't feel comfortable around those people anymore.
yeah, you look sad.
Yeah.
And so who are your people? Who do
My
you talk
people.
to? Yeah, who do you talk to? You've just made this huge move down to North Carolina with you and
Since
your
I've
husband.
moved, like I kind of lost everyone when I moved, but sometimes my stepsister-in-law reaches out to me. Um, she definitely became my best friend. I even said it in her speech. But she's really the only person that I have anymore. And
Okay.
it's really hard because now she's thousands of miles away and she's the only person I ever hung out with, even when I was in New York. So I don't really know what to do. I even gave her my motorcycle because I didn't know that there was going to be anyone to ride with down here because I have nobody and I don't exactly feel like I can socialize because I'm working from home constantly. And the only time I ever go out to do anything is groceries. But I did get into singing again. One of my majors was
That's amazing.
singing. Um, and I was in the choir that was on the bottom end of the stage, like the undercover opera
Okay.
singer. In that, and that was for the Cats musical. Um, and I'm trying to do some performances too, but I don't really feel like I've been meeting many people there. I think I'm closed off, I guess.
Why do you say that?
Other than finding the attention of others, I'm not really ever super open to making friends. Like, and that makes me feel a little superficial too, because I seek the attention of others to fill the gaps that my husband isn't giving me, but then I don't go make friends to fill the gaps of my loneliness.
So part of making making friends isn't easy for everybody. And it might start as something small. I think it's fantastic that you're going out and you're starting to sing at other places, right? You're going to like different like open mic night kind of things. Is
Yeah,
that what it
I
is?
think I'm also doing it at the church soon. Um, and
Churches are
I'm performing with a band in a couple of weeks.
those are huge things. How do those make you feel?
I mean, I'm happy that I'm finally doing something that I majored in because when I was in New York, I couldn't ever really pursue my musical career dream, and that's why I went into tech. Like, I got another degree in cyber technology because I couldn't really do anything with performing arts.
In New
So,
York?
huh?
In New York too?
Yeah, it's upstate New York. It's like way out, middle of nowhere. It's the part of New York nobody ever thinks of. Like, there's farmland
I did the
everywhere,
same
the
thing. I just did it.
hillbillies sort of thing, and it's I want to say more like Kentucky, but I can't say that because I've never been there.
Fair enough. So not your typical, not New York City.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, look, I mean, you have skills. You seem like if you want something, you're gonna make it happen.
Well, I made my husband become a military recruiter, so people call me bad for that, but whatever.
But is this something that's gonna benefit him as well?
Benefit his, what do you mean benefit him?
Well, so before he was being deployed all the time, so now at least is there a little more stability in his life?
Yeah, he's coming home every night. There's no more deployments really. Financially though, it doesn't seem like it's really made a difference because we sold our house. We got out with barely anything. I'm pretty sure we broke even, actually. And then we had to buy the house down here to live in because apartments weren't really working out. And I don't want to live in something that's not a house, especially with our son and our dog and our cat that just passed away 2 days ago,
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear.
unfortunately. And I haven't even told my son yet because I want to be able to tell him like in person and be there for him. And that's something else is really hard. Like I'm scared, like what if somebody up there actually accidentally gives him the news, you know? Like I want to be able to reserve that for between us.
So have you told people up there, like, don't say anything?
I was kind of a dummy and I posted it on social media that she passed away because I think I was searching for more empathy and comfort for myself than thinking about Bruce and how the people that saw it may affect him.
So that's something you could do. You could reach out to people and just be like, hey, whether it's on the post, make a new one and just be like, you know what? I don't want Bruce to hear about this. So if you guys are reading this, just kind of
Right.
block
Yeah,
it.
I think that's probably a good idea for sure.
And it might not solve all that problem. Like, I mean, it doesn't mean that people aren't going to make mistakes and slip up potentially, but
You know,
you're
it's at
also,
least a mitigator, like a okay.
that's something you can do, right? We,
Right.
we can't control what other people do.
Right. But at least it gives me a little more power.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, building off of that, until the next time you come to see me, what's something you can do for yourself to make yourself feel powerful or supported or wanted?
I guess I could, I mean, I already FaceTime my son a lot. Maybe I could maybe try to make one friend at my next singing event.
Okay. So what would
Like
that look
maybe
what would that look like?
so I'm not super good at opening conversations. I'm kind of awkward and very introverted, honestly. I'm not a very active person. Like, yeah, it sounds like I'm an active person because I'm going singing places, right? But most of the time if I'm at a bar, I'll be drinking in a corner, like
Okay.
with my own drink and nobody come near me giving off that aura, right?
Okay. We might have to change that.
It would be like a stretch out of my comfort zone, but for a reward that I think overpowers that discomfort. Um, Maybe reach out to somebody that sits next to me in my choir group and talk to them about the song, I guess,
Yeah.
as just a little segue.
Yeah, you could talk about the song. How long have they been coming to this church?
Yeah, that's another way to open it up, yeah. Only thing is I'm not super religious, so I don't want to feel like a hypocrite.
Oh,
Like I'm singing at the church, but it's not
it's not
for
for the church?
yeah, it's not
Okay.
him, basically.
Okay.
It's just a place of holding the sessions. It's
Okay.
not like as part of a church gathering.
Okay. So then maybe, yeah, maybe it's not how long you've been coming to this church. Maybe it's like, how did you find out about this?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Try
Yeah,
to
that
maybe
sounds like a good
build
idea.
some of that common ground, or are there
Yeah,
other are there other things like this in the area that you know of? I'm new.
I don't know. I'm really brand new. I got here like a month ago. Not even a month ago, because if it was a month ago, then Bruce would be with me. Um, I want to say like it's been 3 weeks-ish. Bruce should
But
be coming home soon, though. I'm really looking forward to that.
do you think, no, you know what? Let's not. I was gonna say, do you think things will be different when Bruce is here? And the answer is yes, of course.
Yeah, I think he's really the glue between my husband and I, and when he's gone, it amplifies the absence that's felt. Like the absence feeling is always there, but it's definitely brought to a greater magnitude when he's not here.
Will you
And the
continue?
silence grows bigger.
Mm, yeah, having a 6-year-old, I would imagine, would lessen the silence
Yeah,
often.
both literally and
Mm,
metaphorically.
mm. Um, when Bruce is, will you still go out and sing and be with the band?
I haven't really thought about that. I think that it greatly depends on if my husband's working late nights, which he's been working a couple of them recently, but doesn't seem to be a regular thing.
Okay.
I'm hoping, but if it can't work, then I've got to prioritize my kid when I can. Maybe I can bring him and have, if I find someone there that I trust, have them watch him in the audience or something.
So these are just things to consider because you also have to take care of you.
Yeah,
And yes, Bruce has become your priority, but Bruce needs you too.
yeah, he does. And he's a good boy. He's a really good boy. And I do admit that sometimes I'm a little harsh with him. Unfortunately, I take out some of my frustrations on him and I'll yell at him sometimes and be really impatient, and I could really afford to work on that patience.
So come up with some. This is our first time. We have a lot. You're here. You're here. You're doing the work.
Thank you.
So write down some things in the next, until our next session. If you can try to connect with somebody at one of these things to kind of be like, hey, I'm Crystal. Nice to meet. I'm Lenora. Nice to meet you. Um, that's a good way to kind of break the ice. And you're probably not the only one that feels like silly doing that, like meeting new people.
Right.
It's hard as an adult to make friends.
Yeah, it was definitely easier as kids, wasn't it?
You were stuck in a classroom, you didn't really have a choice,
hmm
right? Valentines were given out to everybody. And
Yeah.
then you grow up and things happen and priorities change.
Yeah.
But you might start to make friends with Bruce's classmates' parents and have some more commonalities.
Okay. So my to-do list is write some ideas down and then try to make friends or at least introduce myself to somebody.
Yes.
Okay. I think I can do that.
And write stuff down. Like, I want you to think about like things that you want to do better at or
Okay.
increase more of
Okay.
because you are doing things. So don't think like you're at zero. You're not.
Okay. Thank you,
But
Stacia.
you're welcome. It was great to meet you.
It's great meeting you too.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.